Hello and welcome to it. You're watching #Africa. I'm Duduzile Ramela. In the next 15 minutes, we'll be taking a comprehensive look at stories that dominated headlines across the continent. The Democratic Republic of Congo has set up treatment centers to deal with the latest Ebola outbreak. Around 25 people have died so far. The Bikoro community is the hardest hit, with 10 confirmed Ebola patients and 12 suspected cases. Medical staff have begun a vaccination program in a bid to prevent the spread of the infection. Zimbabwe is preparing for general elections on the 30th of July. The vote will be the first since longtime President Robert Mugabe stepped down last November. Several political parties are expected to participate, but the main contest is between incumbent Emerson Mnangagwa of ZANU-PF and Nelson Chamisa of the MDC Alliance. Zimbabweans living abroad will not be allowed to vote. And while South African lawmakers this week passed the minimum wage bill, workers in Nigeria will have to wait a bit longer. The country's Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, has said the September deadline will be moved. Civil servants are not happy about the news. Now, if you enjoy reggae and dancehall music, then this is for you. French-based reggae band Dub Inc. came to South Africa for the very first time to celebrate Africa Day. We caught up with Zigo and Komlan, some of the band members. Monsieurs, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
Très bien, very good.
Komla, what does Africa mean to you?
You know, for us, it's really important to have a chance to play in Africa, because you know, our lyrics is all about diversity, all about immigration in France, and you know, France is a big mix of West African people, North African people, European people, and we grew in this atmosphere, in this mood, and for us it's important to bring our lyrics, our music in Africa, to show to the people, look, we are son of Africa, we are child of Africa, and we grew up in Europe, and look how we mix that, and look what we can do together with white, black people, North African people. Look what we can do, and to bring something different in Africa.
When you speak about the issues that happen on the continent, around the world, what has been the response from people that actually consume your music?
Yeah, for example, we played in Ivory Coast 1 month ago, and the topic of the festival was illegal immigration from young West African people who want to go in Europe by boat, and they risk their life and things like that. And we are son of immigrants in France, and it's really interesting to go back in the country of our parents, and to say to the young people to share our experience and what we feel about that, you know. And it's not only a lyrics thing, it's important to live that with the people, not only to speak about, to show the people, okay, we can come in your country and we can speak about that, this kind of topic, you know.
I like what you're saying, because most people still in 2018 believe that Africa is a dark continent, or they still have misconceptions about Africa and the continent. Why is it that in an age where people still don't appreciate Africa, Dub Inc. has so much love for Africa?
Sometimes it changed our mind to travel. Like when we came to Rwanda, maybe 2 months ago, you know, when you say in France to people, when we said to people we're going to go to Rwanda, for everybody it was, hey, you're going to go to war, and we arrived in a country that is probably way more developed in some ways. What you imagine when you just watch media and when you don't go where you have to go, it's different. It opens mind. by traveling like this, we can talk a lot, and it really feeds our music.
In sort of wrapping up the conversation, maybe individually, what Africa has given you. I'll tell you, when you travel through the continent, you meet a lot of people, and the one common thing is that people are full of love on the continent, and they're so warm. What has Africa given you, would you say?
Yeah, to be humble, firstly. When you go in Africa for the first time, you see a lot of people very strong, because life here is sometimes very hard. So the first thing is stay humble. You are a musician. You're only a musician. You are lucky to be here and to travel. So the first thing is humility.
As you just said, the thing is hope for me, because especially with the young people, when you meet some young creative people, I don't just speak about art, but people who try to do things with what they just have. They show you that you can be smart and create and step up slowly.
Zigo and Komla of Dub Inc. After the break, Mali's Spider-Man rescues a little boy from a building in Paris. Do stay with us. Welcome back. The United Nations peacekeeping mission in South Sudan is concerned that the already fragile peace process in the country could be compromised.
Intense fighting has been reported in parts of the country, forcing thousands of civilians to flee, endangering the fragile peace process in the world's youngest nation. Nyapoka Riakai, a mother of 9, is one of the people who has had to leave her home. Her husband was killed in violent clashes a few days ago. Civil war in South Sudan erupted at the end of 2013, 2 years after independence. Troops loyal to President Salva Kiir clashed with forces loyal to then Vice President Riek Machar. Tens of thousands of people have been killed.
There is a move by both the humanitarian and UNMISS to scale up the support to the population in form of humanitarian assistance for those displaced in communities, as well as those who are here at the TPA. On the other hand, UNMISS is also increasing visibility to patrol in areas which we assess as vulnerable.
Close to 2,000 people are seeking shelter in a makeshift camp next to a small UN base at Slier. Talks in Ethiopia to end the civil war and revive the failed 2015 peace pact have deadlocked.
A quick look at what's been happening on social media this week. The Ugandan government has approved a new controversial law. It allows for WhatsApp users to be charged a daily tax of about 70 cents. Human rights activists say this is part of a wider attempt to restrict freedom of expression. U.S. comedian and talk show host Ellen DeGeneres met President Paul Kagame of Rwanda. DeGeneres was with her actress wife, Portia de Rossi. The couple will be building a gorilla conservation center in Rwanda. And the student embroiled in the National Students Financial Aid Scheme saga appeared in court this week. She's being charged with theft after spending a chunk of about 14 million rand that the fund deposited in her account by mistake. And France will grant citizenship to an illegal immigrant from Mali who rescued a boy from the 4th floor of a building in Paris. French President Emmanuel Macron says the 22-year-old will be trained as a firefighter. The video of the rescue went viral on the internet this week.
22-year-old Mamadou Gassama risked his life as he scaled balconies to rescue the 4-year-old who was clinging to a railing and glancing at the ground below, while horrified onlookers watched. The video went viral and Gassama was nicknamed Spider-Man for reaching the boy in time.
I saw a boy who fell from the 5th floor. I think I like children a lot. I don't want for something bad to happen to them in front of me. It would have broken my heart. I ran. I thought of ways to rescue him. Thank God I climbed up to the 5th floor and I saved him.
French President Emmanuel Macron has met and congratulated Gassama. He says France will give him residence papers and a job in the emergency services. Turmoil in Libya and Syria have seen more than 1 million people from Africa and the Middle East trying to reach Europe via Turkey or by sea since 2015. France says it wants to be firm but fair on immigration. And lately it's taken a tougher stance, with its parliament approving a bill that tightens asylum rules. In 2015, France granted citizenship to Malian grocery worker Lassana Bathily after saving hostages' lives when an Islamic State militant attacked a kosher supermarket in Paris. He arrived in France from Mali in 2006 and received his working papers 5 years later.
So Spider-Man is African after all. Well, that's it from us for now. Remember, you can also catch up on #Africa episodes on ENCA's YouTube channel, where you'll find the #Africa playlist. Take care and goodbye.